I think I was in high school or thereabouts when my dad and I were watching Jonathan Ross's show, The Incredibly Strange Film Show on the Discovery Channel. We were big fans of this documentary show, even though it was airing several years later in the States as it originated in the UK. The show highlighted strange and unusual filmmakers from around the world. In this particular episode, it focused on Hong Kong director Tsui Hark. I had never heard of him or any of his films before, and so I was instantly captivated by his visual style, which seemed so free and unhinged from the traditional filmmaking styles of that time. They showed clips from several of his films that he had directed and produced. In a short time span, the man had made an inordinate amount of films. How did he have time to sleep? In the show, they showed that he really didn't. Then I learned that he had gone to the University of Texas in Austin, right down the road from me. How could this be? This guy went to the University of Texas? From Hong Kong? Then they showed this clip.
他有什么事，我来负责。
It was from Zoo, Warriors from the Magic Mountain. My life changed from that moment forward. I was obsessed with finding this film. It seemed like it was made in outer space, it was so out there. People could fly, use kung fu, lightsabers, shoot lasers, fire, giant eyebrows. I had to see this. But how? I checked every resource I had. No video stores in Texas seemed to have it. The internet wasn't even a thing yet. At this time, I was also just kind of getting interested in Jackie Chan movies. I had a copy of Police Story, and I was super into it, but finding more Hong Kong movies was almost impossible. In fact, it was a real challenge. I had attended a few comic book and horror movie conventions, and I really only went to these things to buy bootleg cuts of movies like work prints or rough cuts that someone stole from an editing room. So the next one I went to, I asked my dealer there, "Do you have a movie called Zoo?" He reached from the back of the dealer table and handed me a handwritten labeled VHS copy of it. It had to have been a 4th or 5th generation VHS copy, but it didn't matter. It changed everything I thought about cinema from that day forward. I'm pretty sure I've owned every version of Zoo, from VHS to Laserdisc to VCD, DVD, Blu-ray. I have posters in my living room and in my office. I even named my cat Zoo, and he's pretty happy about that and could not have been a more appropriate name for his legendary insanity. Let's talk about Zoo, the movie, not the cat. From the magic of Golden Harvest comes Zoo, a 1983 supernatural wushu film based on a novel, The Legend of the Swordsman of the Mountains of Shu, from 1932. If you try to Google the plot synopsis for this film, everyone has a different take on what's happening, so it's best to just sit back and let the film wash over you. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'll give it a small shot. Yun Bu's character is a soldier from 5th century China who is stuck in a civil war that he desperately wants to get out of. He takes refuge in Zoo Mountain, and like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, becomes entangled in a supernatural battle beyond anyone's comprehension. This movie is off the charts nuts from the word go. The first thing that grabs you is the pace. Its editing by Peter Chung is quick and sharp and does not let go of you. This would also establish a kind of a style for Hark that would set the table for films like A Chinese Ghost Story as well. The set pieces today may look a little primitive, but at the time they were very groundbreaking. Tsui Hark even went back to the United States to enlist the help of several special effects technicians on films like Star Wars and Tron to be able to pull off his vision of this wushu wonderland. The cinematography by Bill Wong is just so gorgeous and surreal. It's like stepping into a dream and not wanting to leave. The performances are all great here, from Yun Bu, Adam Chung, Sammo Hung, Moon Lee, Kor Yoon, and let me just say that Bridget Ling Ching Sa became an obsession of mine after this film. She is astonishingly gorgeous in her portrayal of the Ice Queen, and even director Tsui Hark has a cameo in the film as well. After seeing this film, as I've said before, I became obsessed, absolutely obsessed with Hong Kong cinema, and this film had a huge impact in the industry there as well. After winning several awards, it ushered in a new wave of wushu films that went hard for about a decade or two plus. This style finally landed in the US with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in the 2000s. When that film was so praised for its innovation, I was happy that finally the wushu genre got some praise, but at the same time, I couldn't help but think of my first love, Zu. Zu has it all. War, conflict, relationships, death, loyalty, kung fu, flying maidens, zombies, possessions, demons, eyebrow extensions. What more do you want from a film? Zu is everything. Now, there is also an alternate version of Zu, which you can get on the newest Blu-ray releases from Eureka or Shout Factory. This is a version that's been released in some territories that try to make the plot a little easier to swallow. But in doing so, they actually introduce another element, time travel and reincarnation, because we just need more plot layers in this film, don't we? This version has a nice bookend chapter that implies that Yunbyu is the reincarnation of his character from the past and is able to relive his adventures after having seen a painting depicting those events. And this version of the film is often titled Zu Time Warrior, or Time Warriors, I believe. Now, if you've ever seen John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China, some of the imagery that you've seen here might seem familiar. Well, you would be correct in that it was an influence for that film. The great steal from the greats. In 2001, I got super excited because Choi Hark was going to release The Legend of Zu, his follow-up film to Zu. And although it kind of is, it's not really a direct sequel more than it is a reimagining of the source material with some homages to the original thrown in there. It came during a time where the wushu genre was just flooded with similar product, and it just seems like another CG-generated wushu movie, and it has none of the charm of the original, unfortunately. There have been a few new tries at adapting it, including a TV series called Legend of Zu 1 and Legend of Zu 2. I haven't seen them, and I really don't plan to in the future. I think the '83 version is so unique and ahead of its time that it stands on its own, and it just can't be duplicated no matter how many times they try. It's not a perfect film by any means, but for me, it remains a classic and the film that became a key to unlocking a whole new world of filmmaking to me. So every now and then, when you are feeling a little lost or out of place, it's good to just dip into the old Zu Mountain and stay for a while.